Meteorologist Casey Cloud here in the Weather Center right now with a tornado emergency in Middle Tennessee, a potentially catastrophic tornado on the ground just crossing the interstate here. In fact, Interstate 65, and now moving to some more communities here over the next little bit. This tornado emergency being issued here in just the last 3, 4, 5 minutes there for northern Maury, southern Williamson, and southwestern Rutherford counties at 5:52 Central Time. A confirmed large and destructive tornado is located near Spring Hill, or 9 miles east of Columbia, moving northeast at 25 miles an hour. I know we had a strong tornado risk today. We were hoping it wouldn't get toward the violent level, but this very well may be doing that with this tornado emergency for northern Maury, southern Williamson, and southwestern Rutherford counties. I know you can see a debris signature here, even on the axial radar reflectivity here. I'll go to correlation coefficient, you'll be able to see it there too. It just crossed the interstate. There's your rotation. You're seeing winds right now of 55 one way and about 80 the other way. So we're talking about winds here with the tornado, maybe close to about 130, 140 miles an hour. That's very significant, obviously. And as we go on back, again, that's your debris fall right in that purple there. That purple area that correlates well here with the blue, which is the debris and the correlation coefficient. There's a lot of damage being done here by this storm in Middle Tennessee. I know it seemed to have been an area here where there are quite a few buildings, unfortunately. Looking here at some of our topography, maybe not right in the biggest part of a city there with the destruction. It wasn't touching down maybe right in downtown Columbia, Tennessee, but instead just once it kind of got maybe right away from the city center, we started seeing a debris signature, and it's continuously gotten worse here. That debris signature has, as I back things up a little bit, you see that it started out, I mean, that's about 20 minutes ago almost, but there you go. It started touching down right there around 4 miles east northeast of Columbia, and it's just, you see, it's not as populated as areas bad to the south and west, so we hope those folks didn't get hit as hard. But the thing about this is the debris, I know it just keeps showing up. It keeps showing up in all the different scans here, even as they go over 13,000 feet, indicating a very significant tornado. And then as I go to our wind mode here, again, winds right now, you add them together, that's 130, 140 miles an hour worth of wind. That's about 3,000 feet above the surface. Most of that's probably getting down to the surface. I mean, the winds could very well be very similar down toward the surface with this tornadic scenario. As I back things on up here, you see how this came together. I know it's kind of in an area that wasn't, if it was right in the city, the tornado emergency probably would have got it a little earlier and we would have come on immediately then. But you see here, it's been picking up debris, but really the winds is, that's the mode that we have it on right now. That's what we're showing you. Again, a catastrophic threat here in Middle Tennessee. This is a tornado emergency here. A life-threatening situation, a deadly tornado, according to the Weather Service in Nashville. Weather spotters have confirmed this tornado. You see the debris there. I mean, it's very dense there at 3,000 feet, but again, you go all the way up there to 13,000 feet there, and you have a real problem on your hands here, unfortunately. Let me go ahead and check some other modes. I know we had a whole bunch of tornado warnings in the country earlier, but they weren't really, I mean, they weren't really getting that low of something just crazy serious like this one. Not even that close, actually. This one is just really taking off here, unfortunately, and we hope folks are okay here in toward parts of Middle Tennessee. You see a lot of funnel cloud reports, but this one actually touching down kind of more by itself here. And we have higher tornado parameters. You have the instability higher down here. A recipe for big problems. Tornado emergency down there. I know there's other warnings. I know the word America's heartland. So there are thunderstorm warnings out there. Not a tornado emergency in that neck of the woods. But I know we're watching those here just in the Weather Center. Definitely something that is of note for some folks there in the word the heartland. Just have to watch for some embedded rotations as well. Hopefully, don't see those come down to maybe needing a tornado warning. However, It's a situation where if you did get that, you wouldn't get a tornado as strong as what you're seeing in Tennessee, but you still have wind damage, hail concerns there. But this is where we have a potential catastrophe on our hands. You see how that shear rate product right there started picking up there with the bull. It's been moving pretty slow too, quite honestly. I mean, that's part of tricky nature with this. I mean, we'll back this up. I know it kind of flashes, but this kind of makes it worse here. If this is really hidden as bad as it looked like, I mean, that's at about, let's see there. So we're in Central Time out there. So that's about 5:40 there. And you see that rotation, it's only gone 5 miles in 20 minutes. So this is a very slow moving tornado. Not saying it's exactly like the Gerald tornado. I don't think the winds are strong. It's probably not an EF5 here. May not even be an EF4. Probably at least an EF3 though. In this type of situation. But my point is, I know that storm, it was moving so slow, it was just adding to the damage impact because the winds were not really, were lending for a little bit longer than normal in some communities. So there's your scale. Probably at least an EF3, could be an EF4. Again, probably not an EF5. We haven't had one of those in the country in over a decade. Didn't see quite that much on velocity, but this definitely could be deadly for those in mobile homes and the like here. The tornado emergency does continue. I mean, and for those out driving, it's right, during rush hour. I mean, this may be not the most populated area here in the world, but a tornado emergency for parts there of Maury, Marshall, Williamson, and Rutherford counties in Middle Tennessee at 6:01 Central. A confirmed large and destructive tornado was located there 7 miles southeast of Spring Hill. Excuse me. 12 miles east there of Columbia, moving east at 25 miles an hour. So again, trying to just give you the very latest to protect you, your friends, and your family. Again, this is kind of the scenario we're in. Spring Hill, Chapel Hill, and Eagleville. So again, just trying to let you guys know exactly what's happening right now. Very important to do so. And to word this area, tornado emergency. You see that textbook hook echo there. Can't let our guard down in this situation by any stretch of the imagination. So, again, just continuing to watch that very carefully. I know as I'm looking at some different things here, I know at the higher debris levels, maybe not seeing the debris as well. I think it's weakening a bit here, which would be some good news. It'd be some good news here. Just trying to give you the latest. Trying to give you the latest to protect you, your friends, your family. Again, this storm here impacting parts of Maury County in Tennessee. I suspect the damage will be severe, and I'd be afraid there with that crossing the interstate, especially during the time of day it did. If we didn't have some cars impacted there, tragically, I know. I retweeted things right when I saw that setting up there. As soon as that PDS warning came out, it got retweeted there at Cloud Casey on Twitter/X, and it just progressively got even worse and worse and worse here. So, again, that's what we're on the air right now. Again, really serious situation in the north parts of Tennessee as we're tracking the overall situation here. I'm going to go ahead and see if we have anything here new on some other sources. I know questions about Murfreesboro. Let's go ahead and see here. Murfreesboro is a very highly populated area, and we'll have to watch you guys there. I know that's where Middle Tennessee State is there, Middle Tennessee State University. And right now it looks a little weaker, but definitely going to have an impact from the storm, whether it's from wind, hail, and or a tornado. So just be mindful of that there in Rutherford County. So again, that's kind of the storyline there right now. This tornado emergency, potentially catastrophic damage there as we're looking at things, as we're tracking the situation. Let me go ahead and switch something over here real quick to our other mode. There's another view so you can kind of get areas in perspective here. I need to go ahead and check some more information behind the scenes here real quick. Just trying to give you the very latest. Just trying to let you guys know what's happening. Just bear with me here. I'm just trying to update everybody here on the situation. I know watching things in other parts of the country as well here. There's a lot going on. Just checking everything here. Just trying to keep everybody up to date. So just trying to make sure everybody knows what's going on. So again, the tornado emergency does continue here. Again, we're okay. Well, just checking something here, another source. I'm watching a storm in Missouri. If you guys are wondering what I'm doing, and they just issued a tornado warning on that. So let's go ahead and check that here. Okay. And let me go ahead and check the latest information here on this. Okay. So that's a storm. It's not a tornado emergency, but just had a tornado warning issued for Bloomsdale there. Watching things carefully here in the Weather Center. Again, we'll go back to Middle Tennessee here in just a second. Trying to keep everybody up to date here. Again, a lot going on. Going through all our different sources here at our disposal. Let's get back to Middle Tennessee. I know we're watching this rotation around Bloomsdale. Okay. Wind 65 to 70 there in town. I'm going to go ahead and zoom back down toward the south here. Tornado emergency still been in play there toward parts of Middle Tennessee, Maury, Marshall, Williamson, and Rutherford, but they've just lowered that now to a observed tornado, base observed tornado warning here out ahead. Now, as we're looking at things in play here, maybe a situation here where we're not seeing quite as nasty of that rotation. So again, I'm trying to give you the latest here. You see all that debris it looked like, and this inflow too there, kind of being picked up in this overall situation. Again, tracking things here carefully. This is a new tornado warning there for a tornado on the ground toward parts of Marshall, Rutherford, Maury, Williamson, and Bedford counties there, and about 6:45 Central Time. So, watching that carefully. Checking everything here in the Weather Center. Again, live on the air right now, trying to give you the latest. You see that hook on this storm, it's all by itself. I know we have other tornado warnings in the country here. We have a tornado warning northeast of Nashville now. This is areas that are pretty populated there. Sumner, Wilson, Macon, and Truesdale counties. Tornado and quarter-sized hail in toward that area. And then as we go ahead and look at some more information, you can see again back down to the tornado emergency. There is still some rotation there. I mean, it's kind of in a weird form in a way. It's still strong, but it's not quite as tight together in a way. We have other storms that we're tracking, like I said there, in the ward parts of the heartland of America. There's a tornado warning there. And it's looking like that rotation we were watching develop around Bloomsdale. It is just gotten over there, really crossing over in Illinois to some degree as we speak here. So again, just trying to give you the latest, updates. Again, you see that little signature here on the Doppler. I mean, definitely indicative of some high winds like what we just saw in Bloomsdale in toward that area. So again, just trying to give you the very latest here. I'm going to go ahead and keep looking. Again, this is not a tornado emergency up there, but just thought we'd touch on that for a moment in the ward parts of America's heartland. You see north side of St. Genevieve, there's some rotation. If you kind of zoom in, that's where that would be, that counterclockwise spin. And then I know these storms are moving pretty fast, east at 45 miles an hour. Let's get back down to Tennessee. That was the reason that we're on the air. Tornado emergency, well, it's still technically in play for another minute or so. But it's looking like that's going to be replaced with the other polygon, which is the observed tornado warning. It's a base observed, so maybe not as large, not as destructive here in nature. So that'd be some good news here. Again, trying to give you the latest. A lot going on, trying to juggle things here in the Weather Center. Checking all my different resources. I know, you can see that rotation there north of Chapel Hill, Tennessee right now. Again, tornado warning now for an observed tornado. Not a tornado emergency at the moment like what we had, but I am sure there is significant damage back out there, Roy, as we're looking just east and northeast of Columbia, Tennessee. So again, tracking things very carefully, tracking things very closely here. Again, a lot going on. Again, looking at some different updates coming on in. I know in Illinois, Carterville got golf ball size hail earlier on. The mirror is getting bigger than golf ball size hail, though, as we're looking toward America's heartland and the like. So, a lot happening. I know there's some videos on social media now, a wedge tornado being captured there from a live camera. So, if not what you want to hear, that was just a little while ago there in Middle Tennessee. Again, with the situation here, again, trying to let you know what's going on. Trying to get an idea here of what has happened. Gotta be careful because this could tighten back up here. It definitely could become a bigger issue again. As we're looking toward Tennessee. Again, you see Eagleville there, that's where we have hail. A lot of hail up there. That hook is still prevalent. So, you know, a lot of that blue you're seeing right now is more inflow. Now, there could be another area of rotation back out here that is trying to present, but it also has a lot of inflow associated with it here as the situation is evolving. Again, trying to give you the latest. Again, you see up toward Gallatin, there's some rotation on radar southeast of there, southwest of Hartsville with very strong winds in the Hartsville area here. Moving on in. Again, trying to give you the latest here. Let's go ahead and keep zooming in, zooming out. I'm going to go ahead and go to another view. Again, you see some different alerts here. The tornado watches all over the place. Tornado warnings. Well, there's 3 of them in the country right now. One of those parts of Missouri, part of Illinois. The one we've been really watching there with the tornado emergency. And the third there northeast of Nashville, really, as you're kind of looking at things. So, again, just trying to give you the very latest here to protect you, your friends, and your family. Again, going through things here. Again, we have the tornadic situation here going on. That's what we're really down with in a few different areas, but the biggest concern's been down and still is down toward parts of Bedford, Marshall, Rutherford, and Williamson. They're still calling this a confirmed tornado. We gotta be careful. I don't know if I really want to let the coverage go at this point. Again, northwest of Rover there. That's where we're tracking things. That's where we're monitoring the situation. You see there, College Grove to Eagleville, very large hail occurring in that area. Could be, as I look here, could be in the realm of about, I mean, they're going in the 1 inch, but it looks bigger than that to me. I mean, this could be 1.5 inches or even 2 inches here as we kind of look toward that area. That's kind of what our other radar source is estimating here as I look at this a little bit better job. This one here kind of overdoes it. That one is probably underdoing it. Third kind of had meeting right in the middle here. It's 1.97 inches there. This is hail tracker, and that's what that one is actually. If I click on it off camera per se, 1.97 inches of hail as we're looking east of the interstate, east of I-65. Again, just trying to let you guys know what we're dealing with. And we have other warnings, other tornado warnings that we're chasing going into Illinois. I know you have a severe thunderstorm warning here. I mean, it's west of Farmington, but we have other acts in here. Just this orientation gets kind of tricky here. We watch some other communities that'll be at risk here in a little bit. Again, I'm going to go and keep zooming in, zooming out. I'm trying to give you the latest. Again, around Rover there, we're watching some action. We're going to keep our eyes on that there. Around US 41A. Again, we're going to keep monitoring that. There's a flash flood warning for Nashville because of heavy rain. I know, life-threatening potentially up that way toward Davidson County and the like. So not what you want to see up there. Let's go ahead and keep looking. I mean, there's even warnings in Texas, Collin County. There's a rogue storm out there around McKinney. It's not tornado warned yet, but there is some weak rotation, and it's in an environment. There's a tornado watch. It's in an environment that could ultimately produce a tornado. So keep that in mind as I keep trying to give you the very latest here to protect you, your friends, and your family. Again, that's the storm there. Okay, they just trimmed the Missouri side of things out of the tornado warning there with the one that included St. Genevieve County. That's more into Randolph County now, but we have more storms there. I mean, you see some accidents there west of the Interstate 55 corridor. There'll be an issue later on, so that might aim more down toward Perryville again. We'll see. I know earlier on some of that kind of weakened a little bit more as it moved on in, but again, I was trying to give you the latest. Let's go back. Tennessee here is warning. Right now, it looks more broad in nature. We back this up. I want to see, be able to kind of see how things earlier on it has a little bit more unimpeded in the environment. Right now, we got a little bit more really of an impeding situation going on. It's not, like completely being impeded here, but a little bit more so. I know as we look here, we have that warning up toward Truesdale and Wilson counties in Tennessee. And again, we have several tornado watches on the board. I mean, honestly, I know it got really bad there in Tennessee, but right now, anyway, we probably have more watches in play here, tornado watches, than, we do, because I'm looking at the numbers. I mean, we have quite a few more tornado watches than we do tornado warnings right now. We don't see that too often, to be quite honest. We have 3 tornado warnings in the country, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different tornado watch boxes. So there's a lot of concern, obviously, here with the environment. We got to watch locally tomorrow. Keeping the logo red for tomorrow, okay, guys? As we look towards South Georgia later tomorrow, could have severe weather, and then on Friday, that threat is going to spread here in toward areas of northern Florida. So just keep that in mind here as we're looking at things. Could be multiple rounds on Friday too, so could be pretty nasty here as we stay in alert mode. I mean, maybe not as much of a tornado threat as we've been seeing, but just got to be really careful. Got to stay on guard here toward the local area here as well. So I'll keep that logo red. If we need to come back in for tornado emergencies nationally, we will. It was very rare. That's why we had to break in for the catastrophic threat tag there. But for now, meteorologist Casey Cloud here in the Weather Center. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for trusting me here. Definitely keep everybody in my thoughts and prayers that are impacted by that tornadic situation that really escalated here toward areas of Middle Tennessee. So again, we'll be tracking things. Yeah, the interactive radar available at cloudweather.com/radar. That helps to give you guys the very latest.